about to appear on our screens in the brand new series of John and Lisa's Festive Weekend Kitchens.
Well, that'll be fun. But first, John's here with all you need to prepare your side dishes well ahead of Christmas. And thank you, John, because you put on a little bit of turkey.
Well, you got some turkey, gave you some gravy as well, but also
Can I just say I love your show.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
Show,
you and Lisa, I love it on in the background. It's just such a lovely show.
Do you know what's really taught me a huge amount about what people really want to eat, you know? And I think what we tried to do was to do things like this, like stuffing and side dishes, that not trying to make it complicated, actually just stuff that you get out of your cupboard.
Yeah.
Because I think trying to be posh doesn't work. And so that's why it works so well. And she's quite an attractive girl as well, which helps, doesn't it, really?
Of course she is.
So we're going to do stuffing, we're going to do red cabbage, we're going to do some quick peas. All this stuff can go in the freezer or comes from the freezer or from the cupboard.
So we can do it before the big day.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah, so you do the stuffing and then put it in the freezer. So the whole idea here is we do that. And then, as I say, if you want to take it to your friend's place, take it out of the freezer, defrost it, and then all you do is put it in the oven.
Quick question about freezing.
Yes.
Is it best to freeze it in cling film, in a freezer bag, in Tupperware? What do you recommend?
Well, so this I will actually... the stuffing I'll put in the container and freeze it in the container.
Yeah.
Take it out, defrost it in the fridge, and then from there, just go for it and use it.
Sure.
Because it's the best way to do it. And I think that, you know, if you can use a container, which is a reusable container, it's always good. Stuffing, breadcrumbs, apples, a little bit of sausage meat, chestnuts, which you come in vacuum pack, some bacon and some onions. Bacon and onions are pretty important because bacon, I don't know what life would be like without bacon.
Yep.
Gives it the flavour, doesn't it?
It's really good. So you don't need a lot of salt because you are going to use the bacon.
Yeah.
So bacon and onion goes into some breadcrumbs first. Just fry off your bacon and onion first.
Would you buy this smoked or unsmoked bacon?
I like it smoked.
OK.
Then I add water to the breadcrumbs so it stays nice and moist. And then to that, we're going to add apples, 2 or 3 grated Granny Smiths. Granny Smiths are quite sharp, so you've got this sort of lovely sharpness that goes with it. And I'm just going to get a little pan on here because I need to get some red cabbage on a sec. So you get really nice sharpness that goes into the actual stuffing itself. And then to that, I'm going to add chestnuts and mix the whole lot together before I add into my actual sausage meat. Now, the thing about sausage meat is it can be a little bit hard, and that's why you add the water. And if it still doesn't feel like it's wet enough, and it needs to be quite wet for a good stuffing, you just add a little bit more water to it. The whole idea of this is that it's just not expensive. It's quite easy, and that's what a good stuffing is.
So how much stuffing is that? Is that 500 grams, or...?
This is enough to feed about sort of 8 to 10 people.
Because there's more ingredients than the sausage meat, right?
A lot more ingredients than sausage meat, and that's why it bulks it out. It's the bread and all the apples and things that make the difference.
Can I just say, you could actually use that stuffing. I'm just tasting this stuffing. You could just use that as your meat.
And its own, so nice,
as your meat and not have any meat on it.
When I said to you that people ask for this, I actually do send this to other people at Christmas time. They actually ask for it. And it's bit of sage into a dish, put the whole dish onto here, and then you put it all in. Push it down.
I'm going to do this.
It doesn't look very attractive at the moment, but that's all right. I didn't look very attractive, but then I married Lisa and I became attractive. And so that was good. And then you just put some bacon across the top.
John, have you seasoned any of that? Because so my father-in-law sticks a lot of white pepper in here, which is...
Well, you can do, but I think the thing is that with the chestnuts and the sausage meat, a lot of the time you buy sausage meat these days and it's been seasoned really heavily, and you've got lots of breadcrumbs and stuff in there, and the apples. You put pepper and salt if you want, but I don't really do it.
I literally would just eat that stuffing and nothing else, and I'm not a stuffing person.
Well, you tell you what, you can now officially join my family because the children literally say to me, regardless of what's going on at Christmas, make sure there's stuffing. Yeah. Regardless of what day they come.
That's the most important bit.
Has to happen. In the oven it goes for about an hour and 25 minutes. That's it, that's done. So there's your stuffing on the way. Now, if you're going
turkey sandwich of the year, it's so nice.
Oh, you just had a turkey sandwich?
You're very kind. You've just given us loads of beautiful white bread. So nice.
So then, if you want to freeze that, just cover that with cling film, put it in the freezer, make sure you put a label on it so you know what it is, and then you're done. That's done. Red cabbage, the fastest red cabbage in the world. All you do is you take some onions, you take some red cabbage and some apples. You put some apples with the onions so they start to go like this. You put the red cabbage across the top.
John, back with the stuffing very quickly. Do you defrost that in the fridge, you said. You can't cook it from frozen.
No, don't cook anything like especially with sausage meat in it.
Yep.
Don't cook it from frozen. You're better off to actually then defrost it.
Gotcha.
Put your bits here. Then you just take. I've got some things here. I've got a little bit of some juniper berries. Remember, all the recipes are online. A little bit of vinegar.
It's so easy, isn't it?
Oops. And then some grated orange rinds. And you don't even have to worry about stirring it, because as it cooks away, it just cooks away. Some brown sugar across the top. Into there. Make sure it's nice and hot. And then drop a lid on top.
Right, I'm going to try your cabbage
I'm going to
now.
hide that in there. And then you give it a shuffle. So all you've got to do now is just give that... I've got my cloth. There's my cloth. Give it a shuffle. Into the oven for an hour and 20 minutes at 160.
Did you put some wine in there?
A little bit.
Do you know what? I can taste it.
Yeah,
I can
and vinegar.
taste it on the cabbage. It's lovely.
It's the vinegar that's in there. Right, frozen peas. We all love frozen peas. Frozen peas and some onions. Just put your frozen peas straight with some onions.
Yeah.
A little bit of horseradish. That's for you, by the way. Do you know what that is?
Horseradish. Or
That is.
parsnip.
It's a parsnip.
It's a horseradish.
Is it?
That's what a horseradish looks like. So we all eat green horseradish these days. Green horseradish, which is wasabi. And everybody forgets that that's what horseradish is.
I didn't know.
Horseradish, a bit of rosemary into here. And you see they're frozen already, because you're going to cook them like this. They've got enough moisture. A tiny bit of water.
That looks amazing.
Not very much. And then as they start to cook, we'll get everything else out of the oven. So, stuffing, freezer.
Yeah.
Once you've done your red cabbage and your red cabbage is all sorted and cooked, you cool it down. And then once it's cooled down, I don't know where my trivet is, there it is. Once it's cooled down, you can actually put the red cabbage into a bag and then straight into the freezer. So, here we go.
I think I'm going to do this, you know.
Good idea.
Because I'm eating at Josie's this time. I'm going to do the stuffing. I'm going to ask her if I can do the stuffing and do this dish.
I might have a Christmas present for you in a second.
What?
I don't even know
Well,
how to
I
do
mean,
it.
if you're going to do that, I'll show you why in a second. OK. So there you go. That goes there. So now our stuffing is done. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, baubles. There's our stuffing.
Look at that.
I'll put that
John,
away.
with the red cabbage, how do you... What's the best way to warm that through?
The red cabbage?
Yeah.
So the best way to warm the red cabbage is just put it straight back into a pot with a lid on it. Gently put it in the oven. Let it go for about 160 or something in the oven. Or you just put it on the stove. So now, peas are done. Add to that a little bit of creme fraiche. And the creme fraiche, because it's not cream... See, cream is interesting, but when you use creme fraiche is being cooked, so it doesn't split. So what happens is it heats, but if you use double cream in here, it would split on you.
That looks amazing. Look at that. That creamy sauce.
And that's just straight out of the freezer, and that's taken whatever it's taken. So I'm just going to do this.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm just going to move this out of the way, because they want to be able to see it.
I love peas at dinner table.
I love peas.
Well,
Absolutely love it.
I'll let you try these, because they're really delicious. Have you ever noticed that at Christmas time when you clean the freezer out, you've got escape peas? The peas. So now we've got that there, and now here's our red cabbage, all done.
John, by the way, Alison's right. You could literally just eat this stuffing as a main, couldn't you?
Literally as a main. You don't need any meat with it.
No, and I think it's really good, because you've got leftovers, you will always be able to just put into a sandwich. Now, because if you take that with you...
Oh, can I take that to Josie's?
There you go. Put cling film over the top of it, whatever you wrap on the top of it.
Legend.
Put it in your freezer at home,
Legend.
and then go to Josie's, put it in the oven. That's it, you're done.
Thank
Happy
you.
Christmas.
A nice one, John.
Brilliant.
Happy
Thank you
Christmas
so
to you
much,
all.
John.
Thank you, mate.
Oh, for all those details of today's recipes and more delicious ideas from our This Morning chefs who are just absolutely amazing, head to the Free This Morning app.